Well, hello, everyone. And thank you so much for making it here this evening to find out about this course that has been brewing in my heart and in my mind for the past 20 years. And I never had the trust and the sense and sense of sureness that I had to do this until we had the pandemic and people were dying around me. And I felt, gee, you know, I could die anytime. And then when you think about that, you think about, well, if I could die anytime, what are my regrets? What would be my regrets? And in fact, I thought that my regrets were that I didn't serve enough, that I didn't do enough with the knowledge that I had to help people. And you might think that's a funny thing to say because I have taken care of 6,000 patients over the last 27 years, one-on-one. And some of you are here, some of you are my guides, people that I adore, that we've known each other for so many years. And also here's my dear husband, who's a guide up on top, Eric Olson. We have Catherine Lavoie, who is, by the way, you guys, your names should be in the screen someplace if I point. Oh, yes, I see them if I point at you. So we have Catherine Lavoie, who's a wonderful trauma expert and a colleague of mine. We have run integrative medicine groups together. And we have Philip down here, who's my classmate from medical school. And I send you a kiss too. And Philip is our creative director. He's a brilliant mind. And he's also a chef. So Philip will be helping us with learning new recipes every week of the course. So I want to tell you about this course because it's complicated and it's really a compilation of everything that I have learned over the last so many years of my life being a doctor, but also being a human. Because I've been a patient. I have had a really hard time in my life. But I'm also a doctor and I've taken care of a lot of people. And I've come to learn what works, what doesn't work. And the other thing is that this course is not about selling you a diet. This course is about what I think we need to know in order to transform or to have the capacity to take ourselves to a place of healing and wellness. As an integrative medicine doctor, you can imagine that I totally embrace the concept that our bodies can heal themselves and that we can remind the body to remember its wellness. This is so important because somehow in the process of medicine and how we're dealing with ourselves, somehow we are giving agency to somebody else to tell us how healthy we are, what pills to take, what things to do. And we end up actually taking things or perhaps not taking them because we don't even understand why we're taking them. And at the end, we're just fixing a symptom, but we're not solving the problem. So I wish somebody would have had a course like the one that I have created for you, because in some ways it's a legacy that I would like to leave my children. And it's a course for everyone to know what is totally essential to be well and to make your body be well. So the course has an arc to it. And transformations, I'm a transformational leader. So what that means is that I take you from where you are and I help you get from point A to point B. And point B is being healthier, elevating your health and giving you agency to choose how you eat, to choose what to do, to choose how you think so that you can be the boss of your life. This is what we have to learn. And interestingly, in the process of growing up, we become disenfranchised from ourselves, from what we're thinking, from our emotions. We're planning ahead. We're thinking to do this. We're thinking to do that. We think negative thoughts about ourselves, and we're just not connected. We become disconnected from the essence of who we are, our wholeness, the fact that we're deserving, the fact that we're worthy, the fact that we belong, that we deserve, and that we have the power to have what we need when we want it, and evolve to a health place that you can't even imagine right now, because we don't normally have the capacity to talk about these things. So there are 8 weeks to this course. The first third of the course is involved in how we change. And it turns out that to have a change, you have to change at the identity level. And many things create your identity. So to do this, we have to explore first the relationship to ourselves, how we see ourselves, how we connect with others, what we think we can and cannot do, what limits us from getting to where we think we could be, and why don't we get there. And this has to do with every domain of your life. This is not just about health. This is about your love life and relationships. This is about your prosperity. This is about your spirituality. This has to do, if you begin to work at the level of really knowing yourself first, you become very powerful. I learned to do this. I didn't have this. I'm an immigrant. I thought very little of myself. I was called names. I didn't belong in places. I went through this whole process until I reacquainted with the essence of who I was. And it turned out that I wasn't embarrassing, or I wasn't not good or not wanted, but I had to learn to do that in order to accomplish other things. I was an obese teenager. That happened in 2 months after I came to America. And I had to work very hard to figure out how I could come to be myself. So I've gone through these journeys. So the first arc of this story is connecting to ourselves and naturally, intuitively recognizing that we have to fall in love with ourselves. We have to give kisses to ourselves. Because it is when we have a relationship with ourselves, when we love ourselves, that things really begin to happen. In fact, the body gets so excited that you kind of woo the body to join you in this deliciousness of experience. So the second part of the course is that we've talked about the mind. The second part of the course is really understanding the body, okay? And the thing is that your mind may want to do something, but your body doesn't cooperate. You want to lose weight. Your body doesn't do it. Your body's exercising like crazy. You're eating so well, but your mind is not contributing to the story. So part of the story of the body is to connect your mind and body, because they are the same. They're interconnected, but often we're in our minds, we're not in our body. So the work is to embody ourselves, to be present, to feel where we're sitting, to be present fully, to have presence when we show up. That is important. Then we'll move on to understanding digestion. Why we eat. I don't think many people know why we eat. And well, I'm going to teach you that. And I'm going to take you through a piece of food in your mouth, through your entire digestive system. And I'm going to show you what are the different enzymes and hormones and goody-two-shoes that come along the way that kind of squeeze everything together and then create this little broken down molecular space where the different nutrients will get absorbed into the body. And there's different ways that things get absorbed. Carbohydrates and proteins go to a different place. Fats get absorbed through a completely different system. So we will be learning that. And then we'll understand why it is that the nutrients we have actually are to produce energy. And our breathing, the breath of life, is connected to creating energy in your body. Many patients come to my office and tell me, I am fatigued. I don't have energy. I don't sleep well. I don't use things well, even though I'm eating this much. So we have to learn how to activate the energy units of the body, the mitochondria. Those are the things that actually produce the energy in your body. And sometimes they can get sick. They get so sick that they stop working. They are like tired, so that they refuse to assist you. We need to understand that so that we can feed the mitochondria better and treat the mitochondria better, so that the mitochondria in your body is better for you. Then we're going to spend some time on weight. How does weight happen? And the different things that affect weight, how different foods will affect your weight, and also different programs that can be used for weight loss, because there's complexities to weight loss. And once you lose weight, the body changes. So there are adaptations that we have to work around to be successful. So after we do that, we're going to move into the circadian rhythm. Every cell of your body has a clock. Every cell. And they all work together like little clocks. So a cell knows when something is supposed to happen because the central clock tells everything what to do. And the clock is driven by day and night and our meals. So your understanding that then allows you to figure out, how will I do this better so that I am with the rhythm of my body? What is the best time to exercise for me? Should I eat or not eat before exercise? All of these things we learn about. So that is very crucial to the process of being well. And lastly, in that section and in the first section, we're going to be dealing with stress. How do we deal with stress? So stress helps us and stress kills us. Stress is responsible for most visits in doctor's office, amazingly. And stress is inflammatory, and it causes so many changes in the body. So to be able to learn about stress, deal with stress, it's going to be very transformative. One of the things that I forgot to talk about was about dealing with habits and dealing with cravings. And there are proven ways. Hi, that's my cousin here. Hi, Beatriz, mute yourself. Hello.
I will. Hello. Hello, how are you?
Cousins. Oh my goodness. Hi, ladies. So anyways, there are ways that you can retrain your brain. And these are proven ways that you can change how you think about your cravings. You can develop a relationship with them. And all of a sudden, things begin to work out better for you. There's a way of doing that. So we'll be doing that in the third week, but we will be touching upon it in the different weeks. In week 7, we're going to deal, now we've dealt with our minds, we've dealt with our bodies, then we're going to deal with others, because others have to do with us. So we have to learn to engage with the environment in a way that we understand what people expect from us, the unspoken agreements of how we behave, how we eat with others, what others expect us to do, and how to recognize those. Because when we're changing, people feel uncomfortable about your change, and they can make you fall back unless you understand how to go forwards. So that's going to be part of week 7. And we're also going to talk about connections. We're going to talk about societies where people live for a long time. They're called the blue zones. And we're going to talk about what they do and tie it up to what I've been telling you to do to make it more accessible to you. We'll talk about connections and touch as being central components of embodying ourselves fully. Then the last week, we're going to put all of the lessons together. And we're going to see how the vision of how we might be, and I will give you a meditation to enter into that space the first week, the vision that we create of what we might be, how that changes for you as you move along into the 8th week. So those are some of the lessons. As you can imagine, this is very much an in-depth process about every part of ourselves. And this is why it is transformative, because at the end of the process, you will know so much more. You will be so aware of yourself, so aware of your body, so aware of the people around you, your social circles, and the foods you choose and what you do, that you will be different. I guarantee you. You will be inspired. You will be motivated. And the wonderful thing about learning these things is that if you learn them, you can teach 10 others, because we're ripples of effect. When you learn and you transform yourself, other people notice. You're more available for others. Others want to be like you, and they want to learn from you, and you are the teacher. And that is beautiful, because that's really how learning, transformation, connection, and healing happens among us. So this is the general purpose of the course. I need to give you a lot more details now. So I'm going to share my screen for a second. Host, can you allow me to share the screen? Okay, well, I'll talk about that second when we figure that one out. But so every week, the course has 4 pieces to it. The first piece is our entering meditation.
You're good to share, Beatriz.
Thank you. So the first piece is our, thank you, Philip. The first piece is our entering meditation and the lesson. Okay. The second piece is that I am very fortunate to know many people that have transformed their livelihood and their lifestyles and their weight in front of me. I have invited some of these beautiful women to tell us, to share 5 minutes, what motivated them, what they did, what caused the change, and what keeps them going. I think hearing those stories is empowering, because we all are humans. We all have problems. We're not alone. And when we see others having similar situations as we are having, and we see them thrive, we get inspired to thrive. We get inspired. So these are the second part, are my inspiring group of guides. The third part, and very exciting part of the course, is Philip. And Philip is going to share with us different methods and techniques of cooking delicious foods for us to plan ahead of time. But he's a chef, you know, like he knows his stuff. So it's particularly useful. I can post pictures of what I cook to entice you and tell you what I do. But it's really a different level of experience when you have somebody who actually talks about resting the vegetables or resting the piece of meat. I've never thought of that before, but you know, he teaches those things, and it's going to be very exciting, roasting, all sorts of things. And then the last section, the course will go probably, you know how much I can talk. So this could be, we're hoping that we end this segment at 60 minutes. Then I'm going to close that section and finish the recording, because the last part is about sharing with each other. So in the last 20, 30 minutes, we can share what stuck out for us of the lesson, what made a difference for us. And you can ask me questions. I may or may not know the answer, but I'm going to try really hard to know the answer for you. But I'll be honest if I don't know it and tell you. So it's going to be very exciting. You know, we all have intelligences. All of you here have intelligences. And if when we share our intelligence together, it multiplies the information that we can get from each other. Everybody has something to offer. Everybody has something to share. So that will be the last part of the situation. And now that Philip is letting me share screen, I'm going to share with you that every week you get, I don't know if are you seeing this, guys? Yeah. Okay. Every week you get a beautiful book that this is week 6, for example, when we're talking about the rhythms of life. And you will get this beautiful book that you can download. Every week you have a book in your learning portal. And in this book, for example, will be the lessons that I teach on week 6. But the other exciting thing about this book, in addition to getting all the facts and all the things that we're doing, at the end, this happens to be a little bit longer because we're talking about sleep and other things. But at the end of these learning experiences, and you have it for your records, you have all of this stuff in here. There's journaling prompts and lifestyle prompts, okay? So that you can think about what we've talked about. And I want to tell you something. I'm going to stop sharing. Whenever you learn something, if you reflect on what you learned, and you can write it or tell it to yourself, you actually anchored it into your body and into your knowingness. And then you can share it with others. So the more you engage yourself in the course, the more that you will get out of the course, of course, like anything else. So I think oh, there's one more thing. Oh, it's also exciting. The last thing is that you get to be part of a lovely private little Facebook community that allows us to share recipes in there. And if somebody's having a hard time, because, you know, we're going to be doing restricted time eating, so that we're going to go through a 12-hour fast as a group. We are going to try a 14-hour fast. We may try an 18-hour fast. We may try a 24-hour fast. And if we do it together, we can kind of support each other in the process, because, you know, not too many people think that they can do a 24-hour fast. In fact, most people think they have to have a snack between lunch and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is going to force us to learn together or to try different things. And I'm going to be in the course with you the entire way. I am changing too. I'm here to take this course to transform myself. I'm always trying to become better, but I don't exercise as regularly since I started to create the course. I haven't been getting on my treadmill here. You see my treadmill back there? I haven't been getting on my treadmill as regularly as I like to. As I began to prepare for the course, I went back to meditating every day. And that's what allows me to be so calm and centered.